Hey guys, my name is Shani, aka Sharmanda29, and welcome back to another episode of Sitting with Shah. This is my comfy, cozy little podcast space where you and I get to sit down and we kind of get to hang out as I talk about some stuff that I want to do a deep dive on, but I don't really feel that I want to make a video on it, and then I don't want to talk about it on stream, and that's how this place kind of came to be. So, welcome to my podcast if you're new. If you're coming back, hi, welcome back. Today's a very special episode. I'm really excited about it, and we're going to talk about my first time at PAX Australia. So, I actually just got back from PAX 2 days ago. I went over the weekend. I left on the Thursday night, got there about Friday mid-afternoon, and I left on Monday night. So I did a lot of traveling. I had about an 8 to 10 hour trip each way, and I'm a tired bean, but I've rested up, I have had some sleep, and I'm here to tell you all about my first time at PAX. I'm so excited because there's so much to talk about. I'm overwhelmed. I don't even know where to start. So I had heard about PAX before, but I really didn't understand what it was. The most of what I could gain from it was that it was like Comic Con, but for games. And I really originally I just bought the tickets because I really wanted to meet my friends, and I thought it would be kind of cool as a streamer to see what it was about. There was a lot of hype around it, and I also saw a lot of my streamer friends online hyping it up too, and I was like, maybe this is something that I actually enjoy. And so I bought the tickets. I can't remember how much I paid, but I bought 2 tickets. I didn't get the 3-day pass, but I got 2 tickets. And yeah, that was ages ago, honestly. And the build up since then has been insane. People have been tweeting about it, people have been putting it all over their socials. Content creator passes went out and applications went in, and it was just like there was this whole thing. And as the months kind of went on, I was like, wow, I might actually enjoy this. I really want to see what it's about. And I asked some of my friends, what should I expect here? What is this thing about? And they told me, don't have expectations. Just have a blank slate, because it will not be what you expect it to be. And it wasn't. It really wasn't. So my first day of PAX was actually on the Saturday, and I got there probably about 10 in the morning, I'd say. I got there pretty early. I was very happy with myself because traffic and getting anywhere in Melbourne is crazy. Honestly, you really have to plan ahead and have your shit together. So I managed to get there at what I thought was a reasonable time. I did a little I tried to do a little stream. I went to Starbucks and I got some breakfast. I tried a pumpkin frappe, like a pumpkin spice frappe, because it's around Halloween. So good. I know it's such a basic thing and everyone's like, oh, that's so basic, but it was really good. I really enjoyed it. We don't have pumpkin pies here, we don't have pumpkin spice stuff here. It's not common, so I really enjoyed it. It was great. I tried to stream myself trying that for the first time. It didn't work. It really didn't work. So I got rid of those VODs, so you won't be able to find them now. I hope you won't be able to find them. That was my first time streaming in a live sort of setting, and honestly it made me want to do it more. I think the only thing stopping me is because I don't live in a big city, I don't live in a big area. I don't want to get doxxed. I don't want people to recognize where I am and find me, So that's probably only the one thing stopping me from doing IRL streams, but I hope they're going to be in the future. I really hope that that's going to be something I can get into later on. That'd be great. So after I had my Starbucks and I had my attempt at streaming, I wandered down to PAX, and I will say this right now, a decision was made this morning. A decision was made to wear 2 layers of socks and my Doc Martens. And I need to explain, because I understand, like, if you have ever been to a convention, or just anything where you have to like walk around, you're probably like, why would you wear Doc Martens? Firstly, they were worn in, and I really thought that that would help the situation. It did not. Secondly, I wanted to wear Doc Martens because they suited the outfit that I was wearing a lot better, and I also feel a lot more confident in my Doc Martens. They make me feel just like better about how I look. I'm not very confident in how I look, and I was really nervous because I was meeting a lot of people who I'd known online for a while now and who I considered to be friends, and I was really nervous about meeting them in person and what they would see and if they would actually like me. So I wanted to dress to be as confident as I could. So I wore my Docs. Not a good idea. My feet. Holy crap. We'll get into that. We're going to get into that later. Let's just go back to PAX for now. So I wander up the road and I find people wearing PAX merch from the day before because there's 3 days of PAX. I came in on the second day. So people already had their merch and their stuff. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to follow these guys because I don't know where I'm going exactly. So I followed these people and we made it to PAX. And there was so many people. There was 4 lines that like curved around this like system of like tape to keep everyone organized, and the line was just moving and more people were coming, and it was crazy. The day that I actually went in there, my first day, was the most packed of the 3 days. It was completely sold out, whereas the other 2 weren't, and it was crazy. But the energy was incredible. Like I walked up and immediately just started seeing all of these like incredible cosplays and like people just so keen to be there, and I just immediately started to be like, these are my people, you know, like this feels really familiar and safe, and I was really excited about that. So waited in the line, probably not even like 10 minutes, honestly. And I got into the convention center itself, and it was amazing. Like, it was really cool. There was people everywhere bustling around, looking at their phones, trying to figure out where they wanted to go and what they wanted to do. And I headed into the expo hall, which is the big hall in the convention center that has all of the games, all of the booths and the stalls, and just everything is in there. There's some other stuff in the second part of the convention center, but this is where the majority of it is. So I wandered around down all of the gates, and once again the line organizing systems. I'm sure there's a better word for that, but I can't think of what it is. But I wandered over there, and as I walked into the hall, I was so overwhelmed. I didn't even know where to look first. It was incredible. I walked in, and immediately in front of me there is so many indie games and indie game developers presenting new games that are set to be released over like the next 2 years, and you could play them. Like, there was laptops and monitors and systems where you could just stand or sit and just play these games and try them and talk to the people who made them. I was like, oh my god, that is so cool. And then further beyond that, you had like all of the big computer part people. That's the worst way I could have put that. But you had all of these people who were making computer parts that were in my computer back home, just there with these booths and like these crazy PC builds, like so expensive. It was insane. You had Crunchyroll there with all of this anime merch and just great setup, honestly. I think they had a claw machine. Going further back, you had all of this like these plushies and these like cosplay items and weapons and things that you could buy. There was keyboard stuff. There was, I'm still overwhelmed. I haven't even processed the entire thing yet. Like, there was so much to do. Further back from that, you had retro games like pinball machines and arcade machines. You had the esports section where you could watch players competing in things like Valorant, Splatoon, things like that. And then in the room further at the back, there was all of the tabletop games. There was all of your D&D. There was dice for sale. It was so much was happening and everything was busy, and it was just, the vibe was just buzzing. Everyone was so excited, and it was so cool. Honestly, Nintendo had a stall there, which was sick. You got to try the new Mario game that's coming out. I didn't get to try it because there was a lot of lines and stuff, but there was a lot, and that was just in the expo hall. There's still more somehow. This was the 10 years of PAX. This was the 10-year anniversary, and I really picked a doozy for my first PAX. I didn't realize what I was getting myself into, and my friend was right. I could not have expected this at all. I wandered around for a while just trying to like gather my head around it all and like figure out like where things were and what I'd like to look at and go from there. And I didn't even get to look at everything, which is upsetting. I did try, but honestly, like I couldn't have. Honestly, in 2 days, I couldn't have seen everything that was there. The first thing that I did line up for was Cult of the Lamb merch, which is so on brand for me. Let's be honest. If you've watched my streams, if you've watched my videos and my VODs, you know, I fucking love that game. It is incredible. I love the characters, and there was so much of the merch that was already sold out, but I managed to get my hands on some of the follower pins, and they are so cute. I pinned them onto my lanyard, and my pin collection began, which is a very, very dangerous path to go down. There were some people there who had 2 lanyards full of pins, and they were like, there's more at home. These are just the ones I chose to bring. There were people with like binders of pins. Like it was crazy. Like people were so into it. I didn't even realize that this was a thing. I'm really keen for future PAX expos where hopefully like maybe I bring Charmander 29 pins. I just feel like that would be so fucking cute, and that would be really cool to see people like collecting them. Like, yeah, my mind is already like buzzing with all of these ideas. Speaking about ideas and inspiration and everything, PAX, honestly, I never could have guessed the impact that PAX would have on me as a content creator. There will be YouTube videos coming up about this. I'm not going to go too deep into it, but what I will say is that there were 2 sides of me over the weekend that were just, my heart was so full. One side was that nerdy kid who just really enjoyed like playing games and just spending hours on Minecraft and just all of these cozy games and just vibing and just enjoying yourself and being surrounded by like-minded people who didn't judge you. Like it was amazing. And then the other side of it was me as a content creator, me who was still learning and trying to figure out myself and what my space on the internet looked like and what I want to do and where I want to go. And I left PAX feeling so inspired and so excited to make content. I have a list of ideas of things that I want to do. Like, it's insane to me. Like, I went there feeling tired and burnt out and just really needing a break, and I left there just nearly crying from how happy I was. It really did have such a massive impact on me. I was going to say I'll link the video down below, but I haven't even made it yet. So keep an eye out for the video. That's going to come soon, hopefully sooner rather than later. One of the really cool things about PAX is the panels. And I was overwhelmed by the options that I had. PAX actually has its own app on the phone, on the phone. Who am I? I'm a boomer, apparently. Jesus. PAX has its own app, like where you can go in there, you can pick what expo you're attending, and you can make a schedule based on what days you're going, what your interests are, and it's crazy. There was so much happening, and I really, when I bought the tickets and months leading up to it, up until like a few weeks ago, like I was like, I'm just gonna go in there and wander around and see if I can find stuff that I like. I had no clue what I was getting into. That app was incredible, and it was so useful for me to find where I was going. I had the map of the actual convention center and where things were on there. Like there was so much in that app that I utilized over the weekend, and it was amazing. I wouldn't have gotten to half of the stuff that I got to go see without that app. And the panels are really cool. They ranged from like educational things for streamers and content creators to lessons for cosplayers and people who want to get into cosplay, to comedy skits and just really fucking funny things for you to just sit and laugh at, to get a break for your feet because you're just walking around for 9 hours. And it's just, honestly, I loved the panels. I thought I would get bored of them, but honestly, I needed them. My feet were so sore by the end of day one, and I still had another entire day to go. But some of the panels were really, they turned out to be the highlights of my weekend. One of them being The Dark Room by Robotron. I'm saying that's so wrong, but I will link his stuff down below because I went in there not really knowing what to expect, and I genuinely haven't laughed that hard in so long. Like he was incredible. Honestly, I would highly recommend you guys check out his stuff. Like it was just so fucking good. There were other really cool like YouTubers there who had like their own like skits and like comedy things. Like I think it's called the We Don't Talk About Milk Club. It was basically like this panel where people from the crowd would be pulled up to the front of the stage, and you would get to play a game, but you had to finish drinking a carton of milk in the same time, and whoever finished the milk first won. Last year they did Mario Kart. So you had to, I think they did like a Grand Prix or whatever, but basically you weren't allowed to drive and drink the milk at the same time because they were like, don't drink and drive. So you had to just pull over and drink the milk, but you had to also try and win the race, and it was fucking hilarious. Honestly, it was such a good panel. Another highlight that I pray they do next year, because it was amazing, was D&D, but every role is done in real life. It's pretty much this mini D&D session with these content creators who were incredible, absolutely incredible. And they pretty much, every time you had to like roll for like intelligence or like initiative or like attacks or like whatever, like you had to do the action in real life. Like if you had to like roll for strength, you'd have to do like push-ups. Like it was so funny. I can't even put it into words. Like it was just insane. And that panel also really stood out to me because it sold out. I had not seen any other panels sell out, but this panel had a line going pretty much out of the convention center. I got really lucky. I actually got to go in and see it and watch it, but not everyone did. There was a lot of people who missed out because the seats all filled up, and we had ushers putting us into chairs and making sure that every chair was filled, and it was crazy. It was so popular. Everyone loved it. It was amazing. Another highlight, I know I'm rambling about these panels, but like, I mean, come on, the content, the content. I can't even really call this a panel. It was a competition, and that is the cosplay finale, which all of the finals for everything was on the last day of PAX. It was a really big day. Like, to not go to the last day of PAX, I feel like you're missing out on so much. They had competition finals, they had the cosplay finals, they had speed running, I think speed running finals, they had the Just Dance finals, they had a lot going on. The cosplay competition was so cool because you got to see all of this incredible detail and like the interviews from the cosplayers and the people who were in the final. It was mind-blowing to me. Like, I don't even know how you would make things of such quality and how much time it would take, but it also looked so interesting. Like, a lot of people said it was a good study break, it was a good, break from their stress, and I'm like, is that what I need? Should I go into cosplay? Like, I feel like it would be really fun. And then I also remember I do like 12 million other things. I'm like, maybe we should just maybe don't do everything all at once. It's probably making more stress rather than relieving it. But the person who did win, I'm just going to pull up their name on my phone because I can't think of it off the top of my head, but she was incredible. So the person who won the cosplay competition in Australia for this year is Kiralee Cosplay on Instagram. She was amazing. So she did her version of Toph from Avatar: The Last Airbender. And the coolest part, like, you got to go check out the video on Instagram. It is crazy. She basically walked out onto the stage and started earthbending. And when she raised up her arms, she had like this sort of contraption, like this sort of netting, I guess, which was on the floor and looked like it was a part of her costume itself, like the actual clothing. And when she lifted up her arms, this net came up and it had all of these rocks in it, so it looked like she was actually earthbending. And when she would move and when she would bend, the rocks would move with her arms, and like in all of these different ways. It was so cool, and like my little heart just freaked the fuck out. I was like, fuck yes. And it was so sweet when she won because she really wasn't expecting it. I was sitting in the crowd and I was watching the screen, and she was looking the other way when they were announcing the winner, and her head sort of just like spun around so quickly, and she was like, oh my god, and she freaked out, and I just wanted to cry. It was so wholesome. I had some really cool highlights at PAX too, and the first one was just this really sweet moment that honestly it just made my whole weekend. It was so unexpected and it just caught me off guard. And that was, I was at this panel and I asked some questions and I stood up. I was wearing my little Small Bean merch too, which is really cool. And I stood up and I asked these questions and I was so nervous. I stuttered and I was just an anxious bean. And after the panel, I went to go talk to some of the people on the panel just to like thank them and to ask some questions. And after I had asked the questions, I turned around and there was this girl there, and I would assume her partner. I'm not sure, but they were standing there and she had her phone in her hands and she asked if she could follow me on Twitch and what my Twitch was because she really liked my vibe. And it caught me so off guard because originally I thought she was just waiting to see the panelists too, and I didn't expect that at all, and it just, my heart, like, it was really sweet, and I babbled like an idiot, and I was so awkward as I am. But honestly, if you're listening to this, Zoe, thank you so much for coming to see me and for saying that. It meant more than you know, so thank you. Another highlight, and probably the best highlight of my weekend, was meeting my friends in person. And I may cry when I say this. Let's get into it. I've had a rough time with friendships throughout the years. One won't go too far into it. I don't really want to, but I've had some rough experiences, and that's really led to me struggling to trust people and to accept new friends into my life, and also to look at even getting to know people. It's scary to make friends. It's hard to make friends, and when you struggle to trust people, it makes it even harder. So I was very, very anxious to meet my online friends in person. I was worried that they wouldn't like me, that I would talk too much, that would be so overwhelming, because I can be. And I was terrified. And they were so nice to me. They were so kind and friendly and really just made me feel like I belong, and it was just so sweet. And I miss them already, which is crazy because I didn't think that we would connect so well, or that I would feel so safe and comfortable around them so quickly. But I did. And yeah, I miss them. I'm missing them a lot. I'm hoping I can see some of them later in this year. But it was beautiful, and I am so fucking lucky to have, sorry, I'm just gonna wipe my tears. I'm so lucky to have the people around me that I do, and have the people come into my community who are just so kind and genuine and sweet and caring, and just to meet genuine people through this journey and this experience is insane to me. So I'm just, my heart is so full. I am so happy and I'm so blessed, and I really can't wait to hang out with them in the future. Yeah. So overall, PAX this year was insane. It was so cool. There was so much incredible events, panels, and activities to do. They really catered for people who don't have that long-lasting energy, who need to sit down and just take a break. They catered for that with the panels and with other spaces where you could just chill out and vibe. Like, they also catered for people who could just game all day, or who wanted to discover new things or play their favorite game. Like, there was so much there. There was so much. And I heard someone say that it was the biggest and the best PAX so far. They really pulled out all the stops, and I honestly, I'm so glad that I was a part of it. I'm so glad I got to experience as much of it as I could, and the friends that I met there and the connections that I made. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited, and I'm so motivated for everything to come, and my heart is full, honestly. I don't even know what to say. Like, as I said, I'm still processing all of this. It was such a huge weekend for me, but I'm so happy, and I am so excited and motivated to bring you guys new content, more content. Also, just to kind of like settle in my space a bit. I think one thing that PAX showed me is that there is room for all types of content creators, and that everyone has this different vibe and this different approach to streaming and content creating, but we all just mesh together. And streaming and content creation isn't just about you versus everyone else. We're all working together. We're all here to teach each other, to show each other how we do things and support each other. And it's such an incredible and beautiful community, and I can't wait to just delve into it and get to know people more. Like, I'm so excited, and it's really opened my eyes up to just all of it. So if you saw me at PAX this year, if you came and hung out or you said hi, or you were an exhibitor there, you were a person who was helping to run the event, genuinely thank you so much for making my first PAX experience what it was, and for making me so excited to come back. I will absolutely be back at PAX next year in 2024. So that's it for this episode of Sitting with Shah. I hope you enjoyed my little ramble about my first PAX and my experiences. I had an amazing time, if you couldn't tell. I will be back streaming this week, and I will be back with more YouTube videos. VODs are coming back. Hopefully TikToks are coming back soon. I've been doing a lot of editing lately, so keep your eye on the YouTube channel. I am trying to grow it at the moment. And yeah, if you haven't already, pop on over to Twitch, check out my other links. All of it will be in the description below. And if you've made it this far, thank you so much. I would love it if you left a comment if you're on YouTube, if you are on Spotify or any other apps. Make sure you hit all the buttons. Subscribe, follow, whatever it is, hit those buttons. It really does support me more than you know. Also, if you're on Spotify, automatic downloads is such a huge help. So if you want to do that, I will love you forever. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you for spending your time here with me. And this is a new one. I'm trying something out here. I thought I need a little exit line to my podcast episodes. So we're going to try this one out because I think it's really cute. But thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for being here. And remember to stay cozy and be kind. See ya.